Today, I'm going to show you how your food can prevent cancer, because you need to understand that the food that you eat can either be a part of the solution or part of the problem. They can either increase or reduce your chances of you getting colon cancer. And yes, this is exactly where the colon is. You can see it. That's where it is. It's just before the rectum and just before your anus. That's where it is. But before we go any further, I need to understand that you are in this with me. If health gist is something you like, you can't be missing shows like this because they can actually keep you healthy. There's a like, subscribe button somewhere there. Click it. And then share the video with somebody who needs it, because this prayer link, you have shared it, but this is not health gist. You're supposed to share it also. So let's talk about it. Colon cancer, let's start from there. It's the type of cancer that starts in the large intestine, also known as the colon. This is the part of your digestive system where your body stores the waste. It's the loma of your body before it finally leaves your body when you use the toilet. So it's not your anus, it's not your rectum. It's the storage area for waste. So after your intestines have digested it, everything now goes to your colon and it now stays there. It's like dumping ground before you now finally dump it out of your body. Do you understand it? Yes. And you need to also understand that colon cancer is becoming very common, even amongst younger persons. I know of a 27-year-old that has colon cancer that at this point, they have to cut out the remaining part of the colon and bring the other part of the intestine out. So when he eats, his shit will not be coming out from the outside of his body inside a bag. That's a serious problem. But one of the major reasons why young people are not even young people, one of the major reasons why this colon cancer is becoming very common right now is what you call a low-fiber diet. Now, let me explain what this means. When you say fiber, it's a part of food that your body cannot digest. But even though your body does not break it down, it can actually help your body in a lot of important ways. When you eat food that have plenty fiber inside, it helps that your igbe, yes, your stool, and say, becomes softer and easier to pass. Because when you swallow food inside your mouth, what now happens is that all your intestines now start to move around to move the food down. That particular motion is called peristalsis. You can see it here. The peristalsis is easier when the food that you eat has a lot of fiber. So that means that the intestines cannot hold on to something. But if there's no fiber inside, the intestines cannot hold on to anything. So the food just stays in your stomach, stays in your intestines, just stay there because they can't move. When they stay in your intestines for too long, harmful substances now begin to stay in that your colon. But fiber also does another thing. There's healthy bacteria inside your intestines. Yes, those healthy bacteria, they are not paying rent, but they are just there. They are not causing damage, they are not causing infection. They are just there. They help protect. This bacteria actually helps protect you because as they are not paying rent, they need to do work to remain inside that your intestine or your colon. And one of the things that it can prevent is actually colon cancer. But if you are not eating enough fiber, if your diet is just full of white bread, instant noodles, processed snacks, junk food, and you're not eating enough food like vegetables, for instance, beans, whole grains like this waste will stay longer inside your body. And when it stays longer inside your body, the healthy bacteria starts to reduce. And then inflammation starts to build up inside your gut. As this inflammation is building up, it's leading to irritation, leading to swelling, and also damage of the gut. Over time, this can actually lead to serious problems, including colon cancer. Now, I want to make something very clear. Are there times when your doctor will say, okay, it's time when you need a low-fiber diet? Yes. For example, if you're undergoing surgery or chemotherapy, they might ask you to actually reduce the amount of fiber in your meal. This is because when you have a low-fiber diet, it can actually reduce, that peristalsis and help manage things like diarrhea, constipation, reducing the risk of a blockage in the intestines. But this is for specific cases. So during treatment, low fiber can help. But if you're not undergoing any treatment, a high fiber diet is actually more important for you. Now, I'm not saying that fiber is a treatment for colon cancer. No, but it actually helps to prevent it. Are we okay? Yes. So if your doctor actually tells you to reduce fiber for a short time to avoid blockage or irritation, your doctor is right in specific cases and treatment. But that does not mean that fiber is bad. It's just that your body needs a break while it's healing. So if there's any time where we need to put your intestines on a break or they need to go on holiday, we introduce a low fiber diet. Akamu, for instance, right? For example, even when I was preparing for surgery, they told me to take akamu. Yes? Does that mean that? But when you now stay on a low-fiber diet for a very long time without medical advice, it can actually damage your guts. like I've said, reduces the number of good bacteria, increases the chances of inflammation, and also increases the risk of developing colon cancer. So how much fiber should you now be eating? That's the important question. Most adults, like you and I, even though I'm like 18 years old, you need 25 to 30 grams of fiber every day. It's not much. But many people are eating less than half of that. And in order for you to get this amount that we've actually mentioned, you need to ensure that your food is actually fiber-rich. You don't need to start measuring grams with scale. Just have a remembrance in your head. If every major meal, try to fill half of your plate with foods that contain fiber, fruits, vegetables, let me even list some for you. If you're looking for fruits, you start to look at fruits like bananas, pears, apples, berries, garden egg. If you're looking for vegetables, ugwu, spinach, carrot, broccoli, ugwu. Yeah, so if you don't say, I'm only just giving international version, there's also local versions. Whole grains too are also very important. Brown rice, oats, whole wheat bread. Legumes, you're looking at beans, akara, okra. That's what you should be looking at. If you're looking at nuts, you're looking at things like groundnuts, tiger nuts, egusi, pumpkin seed. Even kulikuli is made up of nuts, and you can see it's fiber. If you're garden egg, local food, garden egg, mango, especially with the skin. So if we're even talking about fiber, you see, eating your fruits is even better than juicing it. Sure you understand? So you don't say, oh, I'm eating healthy, you're just juicing your fruits. You are not eating the fiber inside. You don't even need to do anything. You don't even need to do all these things at once. There's another way that fiber actually helps your gut bacteria, right? Now, remember that we said that you cannot break it down. But sometimes, bacteria inside your intestines can actually break it down into compounds that can help you. One compound is called butyrate. Butyrate helps reduce inflammation and protects the cells in your colon from actually getting damaged to the point where they can now lead to cancer. So if you suddenly move from eating no fiber to eating a lot of fiber, at first it will be like as if your stomach is bloated and uncomfortable. That's why it's best to increase your fiber on a daily basis gradually so that your body can adjust. Another question that I know that you people are going to ask, I can preempt you people, is who are the people that are most at risk of getting colon cancer? Number one, if you're 45 years and older, colon cancer, please, you need to start screening as fast as possible. Number two, if you have a family history of colon cancer, like I said, some of you need to start asking questions in your family. How did Uncle Emeka die? How did Sister Philomena die? It's not after a brief illness. Sometimes some of these things are because some of these people have colon cancer. There was a particular time I went to one hospital in Lagos and they were seeing a 71-year-old man and they put a pipe into his anus and we could just see colon cancer everywhere. But there's not much that we can do at that particular point. But if you catch it early, you can just remove that small thing and that person has been cured from colon cancer. If you have diseases like Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, you're at risk of colon cancer. If you eat a lot of processed meats, you are actually at risk of colon cancer. If you don't exercise regularly, you are at risk of colon cancer. If you smoke or drink too much alcohol, you know alcohol will always enter the stain. You are at risk of colon cancer. Even if you are young, it doesn't mean that you're completely safe because cases are now rising among people who are in their 30s and in their 20s. Remember that boy that I told you about earlier? Yes. And the boy even had a family history of colon cancer in somebody else. So yes, colon cancer is rare in children, but it's now slowly increasing in younger adults. That's why you must start to eat good food, healthy. Encourage your children. Some of you just bad habits in childhood that's causing all these things. If you encourage your children to start eating vegetables, fruits, they would love, it would increase the appetite for these things. It's not you now end up, you've used junk to scatter a child's life and then you're now wondering why as adults they don't like vegetables. No. Another question that I know that you people will ask is how can we know the signs and symptoms of colon cancer? Now, if you see blood in your stool, don't ignore it. No matter the type of blood, make sure you always get it checked out. Blood in your stool, except the doctor has checked you out, please check it out. Number two, if you're always either constipated all the time or having diarrhea all the time, please get it checked out. You should be shitting at least once every day. Yes. Some of you, 4 days, nothing. 5 days. You're wondering why you're storing it. No. As long as you're eating, please go often. But if none of this can happen or you're not shitting more than usual, please check it checked out. If you're always having gas, cramps, stomach pain, problem. If you feel like you always need to shit even after you have used the toilet, problem. If all of a sudden you are losing weight, but you're not using anything to help you lose weight, problem. Oh. So if you see any of these signs, don't wait. Go and speak with a doctor as soon as possible. Another question that I know that you people always want to ask: can colon cancer be cured? Yes. Colon cancer can be cured if it's found early. I will say it again. Colon cancer can be cured if you find it early. And it can be treated successfully. That's why I said screening and paying attention to your body is very important. So how often should you now go for colon cancer screening? If you are above 45 years old and you have a family history of colon cancer, please go for screening. And for most people, screening is done every 5 to 10 years. If somebody in your family died from colon cancer at age 40, you should start checking for colon cancer 10 years before that person dies. So the moment you just clock 30, start checking for colon cancer. Because people have different risk levels. Don't wait for symptoms. Go and test immediately. Shogbo. Now, the bottom line of all these things that we are saying is, if you want to live healthy and prevent colon cancer, one of the ways to do it is to ensure that you take a diet that is high in fiber to make sure that your colon is clean, is strong, and is protected. Your food is not just where you pour food and then it gives you energy and goes out. It's practically almost where your health starts from. Protect it. Feed it well. It's not just advice I'm giving you. This thing can actually save your life. But you people have seen me finish. That's why. One of the reasons I know that you people have seen me finish is when I said in the beginning that you should click the subscribe button, you did not click it. So click it now. Thank you. And I know that you've learned something today. Don't keep it to yourself. Share the video, subscribe for more, share it to somebody that needs it. If you want to speak with a doctor, especially on your WhatsApp, I'll put a link in the comment section so that you can do that too. And I'll see you in the next video. Go and chop fiber.